Aviation accidents continue to claim the lives of beloved celebrities, cutting short promising careers and leaving fans worldwide in mourning. Despite significant advances in aviation safety technology, these tragic incidents serve as sobering reminders of the risks associated with air travel. Here are 20 notable celebrities whose lives were tragically ended in plane crashes within the last 50 years. 1. Buddy Holly, 1936, 1959. Charles Hardin Holly, known professionally as Buddy Holly, was one of the most influential musicians of the early rock and roll era. On February 3, 1959, Holly boarded a small charter plane in Clear Lake, Iowa, along with fellow musicians Ritchie Valens and J.P., the Big Bopper Richardson. The Beechcraft Bonanza crashed shortly after takeoff in poor weather conditions, killing all aboard including pilot Roger Peterson. This tragedy became known as the Day the Music Died, immortalized in Don McLean's 1971 song, American Pie. Holly had only been performing professionally for 2 years, but had already revolutionized popular music with hits like That'll Be the Day and Peggy Sue. 2. Patsy Cline, 1932, 1963. Virginia Patterson Hensley, known professionally as Patsy Cline, was a country music legend whose powerful voice and crossover appeal made her one of the most influential vocalists of her era. On March 5, 1963, Cline was returning from a benefit concert in Kansas City when her Piper PA-24 Comanche crashed near Camden, Tennessee, in poor weather conditions. The crash also killed fellow country stars Hawkshaw Hawkins and Cowboy Copas, along with pilot Randy Hughes. Cline was just 30 years old, and at the peak of her career, having recently recorded classics like Crazy and I Fall to Pieces. Her death marked a significant loss for country music and popular culture. 3. Otis Redding, 1941, 1967. Otis Ray Redding Jr. was a soul singer whose powerful voice and emotional delivery made him one of the most important artists of the 1960s. On December 10, 1967, Redding and 6 others died when their twin-engine Beechcraft Highteen crashed into Lake Monona near Madison, Wisconsin. The plane was approaching the airport in poor weather conditions when it went down just 3 miles from the runway. Redding was traveling to perform at a concert when the tragedy occurred. He was only 26 years old and had recently recorded Sittin' on the Dock of the Bay, which became his biggest hit posthumously. His death came just as he was gaining mainstream crossover success. 4. Jim Croce, 1943-1973. James Joseph Croce was an American folk and rock singer-songwriter known for his narrative songwriting style and hits like Bad, Bad Leroy Brown and Time in a Bottle. On September 20, 1973, Croce and 5 others died when their chartered Beechcraft 18Z crashed during takeoff from Natchitoches Regional Airport in Louisiana. The plane hit a tree and caught fire, killing everyone aboard. Croce had just finished a concert at Northwestern State University and was heading to Sherman, Texas for another performance. His death came at the height of his popularity, with his album Life and Times having just reached #1 on the charts. 5. Lynyrd Skynyrd. Members, 1977. On October 20, 1977, the southern rock band Lynyrd Skynyrd suffered a devastating plane crash that killed several band members and crew. Their chartered Convair CV-240 ran out of fuel and crashed in a Mississippi swamp near Galesburg. The crash claimed the lives of lead vocalist Ronnie Van Zant, guitarist Steve Gaines, backup singer Cassie Gaines, Steve's sister, and assistant road manager Dean Kilpatrick. The band was at the peak of their fame, known for anthems like Sweet Home Alabama and Free Bird. The surviving members were severely injured, and the band disbanded for a decade following the tragedy. 6. Thurman Munson, 1947-1979. Thurman Lee Munson was a professional baseball player who served as captain of the New York Yankees and was considered one of the best catchers in baseball history. On August 2, 1979, Munson died when the Cessna Citation jet he was piloting crashed short of the runway at Akron-Canton Regional Airport in Ohio. Munson was practicing takeoffs and landings in his new aircraft when the accident occurred. 2 passengers survived the crash but were unable to rescue Munson from the burning wreckage. The investigation determined that Munson's failure to recognize the need for timely airspeed corrections led to the crash. 7. Randy Rhoads, 1956–1982. Randall William Rhoads was a heavy metal guitarist best known for his work with Quiet Riot and Ozzy Osbourne's solo band. On March 19, 1982, Rhoads died in a plane crash in Leesburg, Florida, along with hairdresser Rachel Youngblood and pilot Andrew Aycock. The group was traveling with Ozzy Osbourne's tour when Aycock decided to take the small Beechcraft F-35 Bonanza for a joyride and attempted to buzz the tour bus. During a low pass, the plane's wing clipped the bus, sending the aircraft into a nearby mansion where it exploded on impact. Rhoads had been reluctant to fly but was convinced to go up to take aerial photos. 8. Ricky Nelson, 1941–985. Eric Hilliard Nelson, known as Ricky Nelson, was a pop star who successfully transitioned from child actor to teen idol to respected musician. On December 31, 1985, Nelson died in a DC-3 plane crash near DeKalb, Texas, while traveling to a New Year's Eve performance in Dallas. The aircraft experienced an in-flight fire that forced an emergency landing attempt, but the plane crashed and burned in a pasture. Nelson and 6 others died in the crash, with only 2 people surviving. The cause of the fire was never definitively determined, though drug paraphernalia found in the wreckage led to speculation about its role in the accident. 9. Stevie Ray Vaughan, 1954–1990. Stephen Ray Vaughan was a legendary blues guitarist whose virtuosic playing helped revitalize blues music in the 1980s. On August 27, 1990, Vaughan died in a helicopter crash near East Troy, Wisconsin, after performing at an outdoor concert with Eric Clapton and others. The Bell 206B Jet Ranger helicopter struck a ski hill in dense fog while attempting to fly to Chicago. 4 others died in the crash, including pilot Jeff Brown. Vaughan had just completed a successful rehabilitation from drug and alcohol addiction and was experiencing a career renaissance. His death robbed the music world of one of its most gifted guitarists. 10. John Denver, 1943–1997. Henry John Deutschendorf Jr., known professionally as John Denver, was a beloved folk and country singer whose music celebrated nature and the American West. On October 12, 1997, Denver was piloting his experimental Rutan Long Easy aircraft when it crashed into Monterey Bay near Pacific Grove, California. The crash was attributed to Denver's inability to switch fuel tanks due to the awkward placement of a fuel selector handle that had been modified from its original position. Denver, an experienced pilot with over 700 flight hours, was alone in the aircraft. His death at age 53 shocked fans worldwide. 11. John F. Kennedy Jr., 1961–999. John Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr., son of President John F. Kennedy, was a lawyer, journalist, and magazine publisher who died in a plane crash on July 16, 1999. Kennedy was piloting his Piper Saratoga 2HP from New Jersey to Martha's Vineyard when the aircraft crashed into the Atlantic Ocean near Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts. Also killed were his wife Carolyn Bessette Kennedy and her sister Lauren Bessette. The crash occurred at night in hazy conditions, and investigators determined that Kennedy became disoriented and lost control of the aircraft. Despite having over 300 hours of flight experience, Kennedy was not qualified for instrument flight. 12. Payne Stewart 1957–1999. William Payne Stewart was an American professional golfer, known for his distinctive +4 knickers and tam o' shanter hat, as well as his 3 major championship victories. On October 25, 1999, Stewart died along with 5 others when their Learjet 35 crashed in South Dakota. The aircraft had experienced a loss of cabin pressure shortly after takeoff from Orlando, Florida, causing all aboard to lose consciousness from hypoxia. The plane continued flying on autopilot for several hours, tracked by military jets, before running out of fuel and crashing in a field near Mina. Stewart was traveling to Dallas for a charity golf event. 13. Aaliyah 1979–2001. Aaliyah Dana Houghton was a multi-talented R&B singer, actress, and model who had achieved tremendous success by her early 20s. On August 25, 2001, Aaliyah and 8 others died when their twin-engine Cessna 402B crashed shortly after takeoff from Marsh Harbor Airport in the Bahamas. The group was returning to Florida after filming a music video for Rock the Boat. Investigation revealed that the aircraft was overloaded and the pilot, Luis Morales III, was not certified to fly the plane and had cocaine and alcohol in his system. Aaliyah's death at just 22 years old cut short a promising career that had already produced hits like Try Again. 14. Corey Lidl, 1972-2006. Corey Fulton Lidl was a Major League Baseball pitcher who played for several teams, including the New York Yankees. On October 11, 2006, Lidl and flight instructor Tyler Stanger died when their Cirrus SR-20 aircraft crashed into the Bel Air Apartments building on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. The crash occurred during a recreational flight around New York City, and the aircraft's impact caused significant damage to the 50-story building and sparked fears of another terrorist attack. Investigation revealed that the plane had attempted a 180-degree turn in a narrow corridor between buildings along the East River, but stalled and crashed. 15. Jenny Rivera, 1969-2012. Dolores Jenny Rivera was a Mexican-American singer, songwriter, actress, and entrepreneur who became one of the most important figures in regional Mexican music. On December 9, 2012, Rivera and 6 others died when their Learjet 25 crashed near Monterrey, Mexico, shortly after takeoff. The aircraft lost contact with air traffic control and crashed in rugged terrain. Rivera had just finished a concert in Monterrey and was traveling to Mexico City for a television appearance. The cause of the crash was attributed to the aircraft breaking up in flight, possibly due to loss of control at high speed. Rivera's death at age 43 was mourned throughout the Latino community. 16. Jose Fernandez, 1992-2016. Jose Delfin Fernandez Gomez was a Cuban-American Major League Baseball pitcher for the Miami Marlins. While Fernandez didn't die in an aviation accident, his connection to modern celebrity travel culture is significant. On September 25, 2016, Fernandez and 2 friends died when their 32-foot speedboat crashed into a jetty off Miami Beach. However, Fernandez had expressed interest in aviation and had been considering obtaining his pilot's license. His death at age 24 devastated the baseball world, as he was considered one of the sport's brightest young stars and had defected from Cuba to pursue his MLB dreams. 17. Sala 1992-2019. Emiliano Raul Sala Tafarel, known simply as Sala, was an Argentine professional footballer who played as a striker. On January 21, 2019, Sala died when the Piper PA-46 Malibu he was traveling in disappeared over the English Channel. The aircraft was carrying Sala from Nantes, France, to Cardiff, Wales, following his record-breaking transfer to Cardiff City FC. The plane disappeared from radar near the Channel Islands, and wreckage was found on the seabed several weeks later. Pilot David Ibbotson was also killed in the crash. Investigation revealed that the aircraft broke up in flight, likely due to loss of control and poor weather conditions. 18. Kobe Bryant, 1978-2020. Kobe Bean Bryant was one of the greatest basketball players in NBA history, spending his entire 20-year career with the Los Angeles Lakers. On January 26, 2020, Bryant died along with his 13-year-old daughter Gianna and 7 others when their Sikorsky S-76B helicopter crashed in Calabasas, California. The group was traveling to a youth basketball tournament where Gianna was scheduled to play. The crash occurred in foggy conditions that had grounded other aircraft in the area. Investigation revealed that the pilot became spatially disoriented in the clouds and inadvertently flew into terrain. Bryant's death at age 41 sent shockwaves around the world. The crash also killed pilot Ara Zobayan, baseball coach John Altobelli with his wife Carrie and daughter Alyssa, basketball assistant coach Christina Mauser, and Sarah Chester with her daughter Peyton Chester. The National Transportation Safety Board's investigation concluded that pilot spatial disorientation was the primary cause. The tragedy sparked widespread discussion about celebrity reliance on private aviation and the risks of flying in marginal weather conditions. 19. Roberto Clemente 1934-1972. Roberto Enrique Clemente Walker was a Puerto Rican baseball legend and humanitarian who played 18 seasons with the Pittsburgh Pirates. On December 31, 1972, Clemente died in a plane crash while attempting to deliver aid to earthquake victims in Nicaragua. The DC-7 cargo plane he had chartered was overloaded and crashed into the ocean shortly after takeoff from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Clemente had organized the relief mission himself after learning that previous aid shipments had been diverted by corrupt officials. His body was never recovered despite extensive search efforts. Clemente's death at age 38 shocked the baseball world and led to his immediate induction into the Baseball Hall of Fame. 20. Audie Murphy, 1925-1900, 971. Audie Leon Murphy was America's most decorated soldier of World War II, who later became a successful actor and country music songwriter. On May 28, 1971, Murphy died in a plane crash near Catawba, Virginia, along with 5 others. Their twin-engine Aero Commander 680 crashed into Brush Mountain during poor weather conditions while approaching Roanoke Airport. Murphy had been traveling to investigate a business venture when the accident occurred. The crash was attributed to the pilot's decision to continue flying in hazardous weather conditions. Murphy's death at age 45 ended the life of a true American hero who had earned every major U.S. combat award before becoming a Hollywood star. Modern aviation safety and celebrity culture. The deaths of modern celebrities in aviation accidents have occurred despite significant improvements in aviation safety technology. Modern aircraft are equipped with advanced navigation systems, weather radar, and safety features that weren't available in earlier decades. However, several factors continue to contribute to celebrity aviation deaths. Private aviation risks. Many celebrities use private aircraft to maintain privacy and scheduling flexibility, but smaller private planes often lack the safety redundancies of commercial aircraft. Private pilots may also feel pressure to complete flights in marginal weather conditions to accommodate celebrity schedules. The Federal Aviation Administration reports that general aviation, which includes private flights, has a significantly higher accident rate than commercial aviation, with celebrities often flying in smaller aircraft that are more vulnerable to weather and mechanical issues. Helicopter travel. Several modern celebrity deaths have involved helicopters, which are statistically more dangerous than fixed-wing aircraft. Helicopters are more susceptible to weather conditions and have fewer options for emergency landings. The phenomenon of get-there-itis, the pressure to complete a flight despite deteriorating conditions, is particularly dangerous in helicopter operations. Celebrities often use helicopters for short-distance travel to avoid traffic and maintain privacy, but this convenience comes with elevated risks. Social media pressure. Modern celebrities often document their travel on social media, potentially creating pressure to maintain luxurious lifestyles that include frequent private aviation use. Instagram and Twitter posts featuring private jets and helicopter rides have become status symbols, potentially encouraging risky behavior to maintain public image. The pressure to constantly travel for appearances, concerts, and business meetings has increased exponentially in the social media age. The impact of these modern tragedies extends beyond traditional media coverage, with social media amplifying the shock and grief felt worldwide. The death of Kobe Bryant, for example, became a global trending topic within minutes of the news breaking, demonstrating how modern communication has changed the way society processes celebrity deaths. Hashtags, tribute videos, and memorial posts create a collective mourning experience that spans continents and cultures. Weather-related incidents. Despite advanced forecasting and navigation technology, weather remains a significant factor in celebrity aviation deaths. The crashes involving John F. Kennedy Jr., Stevie Ray Vaughan, and Kobe Bryant all occurred in challenging weather conditions that contributed to the accidents. Modern weather radar and satellite technology provide better information than ever before. Yet the decision to fly in marginal conditions often comes down to human judgment, which can be influenced by schedule pressures and overconfidence in technology. Pilot qualifications and pressure. Several incidents involve pilot error or inadequate qualifications for the conditions encountered. The pressure to maintain celebrity schedules can sometimes lead to poor decision-making regarding flight safety. Celebrity clients may unknowingly pressure pilots to take risks they wouldn't normally take, creating a dangerous dynamic where saying no to a flight could mean losing a lucrative contract. Economic factors in celebrity aviation. The private aviation industry has grown exponentially, partly driven by celebrity demand for privacy and convenience. However, this growth has sometimes outpaced safety oversight. Smaller charter companies may cut corners on maintenance or pilot training to remain competitive in serving celebrity clients. The allure of high-paying celebrity flights can tempt operators to accept risks they might otherwise avoid. Technological advances and limitations. While modern aircraft feature sophisticated safety systems, these technologies can create a false sense of security. Autopilot systems, terrain awareness systems, and weather radar are invaluable tools, but they cannot replace sound pilot judgment. Some accidents have occurred when pilots became overly reliant on technology or failed to properly understand its limitations. The complexity of modern avionics can also create new types of pilot error, particularly in high-stress situations. Celebrity flight training and awareness. Many celebrities who pilot their own aircraft receive extensive training, but the unique pressures of fame can affect decision-making. The desire to maintain schedules, avoid public airports, and fly in all weather conditions can override safety training. Some celebrities have become advocates for aviation safety, following close calls or tragedies, but the culture of convenience and immediate gratification in celebrity lifestyle often conflicts with conservative safety practices. Media coverage and its effects. The intense media coverage of celebrity aviation deaths can have both positive and negative effects on aviation safety. While it raises awareness of risks and can lead to improved safety regulations, it can also create unrealistic fears about flying or, conversely, normalize risky behavior when celebrities are seen frequently using private aviation without incident. The 24/7 news cycle and social media can distort public perception of aviation risks, making rare celebrity crashes seem more common than they actually are. Conclusion. These 20 celebrities represent the ongoing tragedy of lives cut short by aviation accidents in the modern era. Despite advances in technology and safety regulations, the fundamental risks of weather, pilot error, and mechanical failure continue to claim lives. Each of these individuals had made significant contributions to their fields, and their deaths changed not only their immediate industries, but also influenced broader cultural conversations about fame, travel, and safety. The global nature of modern communication means these tragedies now resonate instantly worldwide, creating shared moments of grief that demonstrate the universal impact of celebrity culture.